the door. So
You are on
probably
air,
you don't have
boss.
to give me. We're starting. Yeah, we're in the air now. 2 seconds. One. Mm-hmm.
I say somebody introduce it because obviously I'll start reading in a minute, but somebody please introduce it.
All right.
Not you, Chris, please. Yeah. We start from the beginning. A 43-year-old widower from Saselam.
Welcome to 5Roundz, guys. We're just here with another story we thought was interesting to everyone. This is very interesting, actually. When I was reading it, I got mind blown. It was introduced by Ovita. At first, I was like, "This is just another rape case, and everything's sensitive," but it's something that needs to be talked about. So we have Wantali and OV2 nights today. The rest of you guys are busy, so I'm just gonna go on and read the story to you just to keep it short. We don't want to do a long video. So, a 43-year-old widower from Cecilamani, outside of Guyana, only identified as Alfred, locked two women inside his house and sexually assaulted them for hours. According to his neighbors, who were ready to burn the suspected witches, Alfred took quite unusual routes in handling the situation. There was no doubt we caught them performing witchcraft, and they were supposed to be burned. On my way to work at around 4 a.m., I saw the two naked women stuck inside Alfred's yard. I called him to come out, and I was rounding up other community members to bring petrol and tires to do what needed to be done. Alfred said not to worry. He will deal with them his way and drag them inside his house and lock the doors. His neighbor, who wishes to remain anonymous, said he heard screams and moaning coming from the house, and Alfred was refusing to open the door. I decided to call.
So the man.
Hold on. I decided to call the police, who arrived a few hours later. I thought if he killed them both alone, he was going to jail for murder as opposed to mob justice. The police came and kicked down the door, and it was something I've never seen before. The floor was wet with a mixture of his manly fluid and their womanly fluid. He said he had tied them to the table. He was acting like an animal. Police took all three of them to the local police station, and they were all released the same day. The woman refused to open a case against Alfred, even though he abused them for over 3 hours. Shite. In his own words, Alfred said he did what he did because he figured they were already bewitched. They already bewitched him. He said a prophet told him two women are busy putting a curse on him not to marry again. So he wanted to take his sexual frustration out on them. The police said they let Alfred go after the three. The police said they let Alfred go after the three of them shook hands and agreed not to bother each other again. Alfred wanted the two women to say they will no longer bewitch him if they want to be safe from him. This courtesy of Wantali. I don't even know what that means. But that's the story, boys.
Yeah, man. So as we said, the link will be in the description. Yeah, take it away. What do you guys think?
Okay. Do you want me? My point.
We'll let Ovita go. We'll let Ovita start.
First of all,
yeah, because he's been ready.
The women were safe because you know what happens in Africa if someone is found doing witchcraft stuff, it's gonna burn them. You see, they said they were gonna burn them, guys. Alfred did bang bang gigolo. They weren't burned. At least their life was safe. That's the only positive part we can pick about. I can pick about this story. The bad thing is, how certain are we that the witchcraft, the witches, you know, how certain, or is it just a rape case, you know, turned into something? On my side, I believe the witches because I believe in witches. I'm from Africa and I know I've seen this stuff and I've seen this shit is true. it does happen. There's witches.
Let me just lean a little bit closer so I can hear what you're saying. All right.
Yeah. So what I said, the most good positive thing is their lives were saved.
I heard it.
Yeah.
I heard
No,
what
the
you
first.
said.
Yeah.
I could hear him proper, so I think you'll be able to hear him after when you
Yeah.
start cutting it and everything.
Mm.
Oh no! This is part of the dialogue.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
All right.
Sorry.
Yeah. So as I said, their lives were saved. They were going to be burned to death. That's what they do to witches. They burn them until today. It's 2021, and still in Africa, if you're caught as a witch, they'll burn you to death. Okay, this guy just brought him in and he said, look, fuck this. For 3 hours, he's a bull.
That doesn't give him the right to rape them, though. You know what I mean?
But
to violate,
in a way,
to abuse two women.
that's true.
Yes, they were caught doing witchcraft, but I know it's something that the old age used to do, burn witches on the stake and everyone. We live in a new age right now that kind of stuff is already done. You don't burn someone. You take them.
You rather
take
they were
them to
burned?
court. You take them to court. Call the police. That's the first thing that the guy should have done first before calling the mob. Just the mob. Obviously, the mob was going to burn them.
Yeah, but the mob did. He did. But look, he didn't call the mob. They never seen this, and that's the next thing is they're gonna call.
As if you've read, the reason why he called the police was because he locked himself in there and he thought he was going to kill them, and he was trying to prevent Mr. whatever his name is
from going to jail
from going to jail. That was the only reason they called.
Yeah, because he thought he was going to kill them. He thought Mr. Alfred.
That was the only reason. So if he hadn't thought about that, that means the guy would have gone on extra more hours doing the same act. These women have still been raped. Nonetheless, the witches and everything is bad. Yes, I accept that they shouldn't have done that. But the fact that the guy took his time for 3 hours to rape these two women, he felt like he has the obligation to violate these women instead of bringing them to court, to the police to get rightfully judged for what they were doing.
Can I ask you a question? If these were men and he did the same, would you listen? Don't get me wrong. I have so much respect and rights for women. I'm a big women advocate. I'm a feminist, very, very big time through what I grew up. But if it was men and there were witches and they were caught with the plane, this in Africa, there are people who are caught in licheros, as we call them, or spoons or stuff like that. What if we grabbed them and did the same thing?
Wait a minute. For the users that don't understand what you just said, what is that?
So it's like a basket. They fly in a basket. You've often seen in Malawi, where we come from, I've seen a person that was caught outside a yard and this guy was in a basket. And this guy
I think the viewers can just go on Google, type in
witchcraft in Africa
on the roof in Africa.
Yes,
lots of pictures will pop up there if you want to know what we're talking about.
I've seen a human being that was half human and half snake. That's witchcraft. This shit is real.
Okay, I haven't seen that before.
I seen that in Chirimba, don't I?
All right. Well, what I was.
Go on.
Well, basically, look, man. You think it's okay for men who committed this act called witchcraft are punished by being sexually abused? You think it's okay?
It's not okay, but this guy did the better way than being burned. They're still alive.
How is that a better way, man? That's not justice at the end of the day.
No, I'm not saying it's justice. It's better than burning.
That is
Dude, there's other options apart from burning, raping.
Of course, there are better options that they could have done. But I'm telling you, in this situation, I think what he did was bad, but it saved their life in another way because the mob was going to burn them. And he said, no, don't burn them. I'm bringing them in my gas.
Okay. We're going a bit, you know what? We're going a little too far. Hold on a minute. We're going a little too far first. You're telling me that you believe in witchcraft, right?
I do.
Right?
I do.
You believe in witchcraft. Okay.
I do.
Which part of the law says that you have to burn someone practicing witchcraft?
No, there's no law, but people just took the law in their own hands. Like if you go back in history, that's what they used to do to a witch. Anywhere, Europe,
Okay.
anywhere.
My second question is: do we live by history or do we live by the law?
We live by the law.
Okay, so which part of the law says that somebody committing witchcraft has to be burned or has to be jailed?
You're not supposed to be burned. Okay, so anyone practicing witchcraft shouldn't be burned, shouldn't be punished, yeah?
No, the thing what we're trying to say here, rape is not the only sort of punishment to inflict on someone doing witchcraft.
I'm not saying
okay,
basically, I am disagreeing with you on the raping part. I'm not going to applaud to that. I'm saying the witches were wrong to do whatever act they were doing.
They were cursing this guy.
Yes, they were cursing him. That was wrong.
And they admitted it.
The man as well was wrong also to rape them. That's what I'm saying as well. They were all wrong at the same issue. They should have both been locked up in jail for a couple of months. You know what I mean? Because imagine, now it's very easy to say, because it's going to be like people can just lie, oh, this is a witch, she's a witch, and start raping them, lying that they're witches. That can be something that will happen. No, that is something people can take advantage of that, you know.
If you're in Africa and you pulled up in my garden 4 a.m. in the morning and I found you part naked, nigga, we're killing you.
What if the guy
in Africa? What about here? What about here? Are you gonna do that? Because I think witchcraft doesn't have jurisdiction.
No, right here. See, listen, the witches here in Europe, they're doing spells and shit like that. In Africa, this
called magic.
No, they just do
magic.
No, but
it's called magic. They don't put witchcraft. Like, I don't think it's the same thing. Like in Africa, you know for a fact a person can tell you, you fucked with me. Tomorrow you're not gonna wake up, and you ain't gonna wake up. He's not gonna kill you with a knife. You're gonna go to sleep and you won't wake up.
Hold on a minute, Obi, right? Okay, because you seem to be going back to Africa. What I'm saying is, I'm not saying that you're going to find a British person at 4 a.m. outside your house naked, doing acts of witchcraft. All right, let's say a Malawian, yeah. Let's say a Malawian. Let me ask my question. Let's say a Malawian is outside your house performing acts of
here in Ireland.
Here in Ireland, performing acts of what you believe is witchcraft.
Are you practicing witchcraft?
Are you going to save him by raping him?
Are you going to rape that person?
No. I'm not going to rape him. I ain't going to rape him. I ain't going to rape him. But this is going to be witchcraft. So
justice, bro. You have to give them justice.
Yeah, but
that's not what you're talking about.
The way I understand, witches never get justice in Africa, which is true. Because even the judge is afraid to bring them. He's afraid to bring them in court. He's afraid. You know this. Judges are afraid to bring a witch in court to prosecute them because they're afraid that they'll put a spell on them. A judge. That's why they come with that law. Not this law. That's why people in the community just say, you know what, we're going to burn him. Because every time a witch has tried to go into court in Malawi, in Africa, a judge is afraid to prosecute that witch. He's a witch. I ain't got shit to do with that. I love my family.
Let me ask another question.
Before you ask,
let me ask another question. Okay, yeah, go on.
At the end when they said like, oh, because I was trying to think at the end when they said, the guy who was writing said, later they shook hands never to do it again. What is stopping the mob to still go after these women,
these
witchcraft ladies? You know what I mean? You said he did them justice by raping them, and then everybody is alive.
I didn't say he did them justice, but he had their life was saved. Their
life was saved, but how do you know for sure their life was saved? These women are still witches, and the mob obviously won't forgive them.
So they got shagged, and now they changed their mind. They're not witches anymore. That's what you see.
No, they're not gonna bewitch that person anymore. Because he's told them that they ain't gonna rest.
One person. But
that's only writer's
view. Everybody else, right?
Yeah, they can do their bewitching stuff anywhere else. And I think they'll even move. They'll probably move. Because I remember when I was really young, I'm the teleport, I was around 10, 12. I was living in Matali's Zombare. And there's a woman across like 4 or 5 blocks away from us living, right? Like the estate where you have the road, so it's a street road. and everybody was saying this woman is a witch, this woman is a witch, this woman is a witch, this woman is a witch. She had her house looked weird. It's got, it's just scary stuff, and everybody's like, yeah, don't point the house. And we cool. And couple of, I don't know, down the line, 3 houses from my house. In the morning, we just heard noises, right? And we're like, "What's up? Wake up!" And that was around 6 in the morning. And we woke up, we're like, "What's going on?" And there's loads of people packed, and went out there. There was the woman. She was in a basket. When I say basket, to us we mean lichero. Lichero, you know lichero.
Those little thing they use the maize to.
Yeah, no, the other one there, the other one where they keep them pallet. So like it's a basket.
Okay. I know,
the deeper one, and she was inside. One. She was inside, right? And she was inside. She was catching it, and she was painted white and things like that. And apparently they were saying,
was it?
Yeah, apparently they said she couldn't move. All right, they had to bring. They brought a witch doctor, as they call it, a witch doctor. And this guy came in with his stick, and he did his thing, with his wand. Not a stick like a wand like Harry Potter. He had a big, massive stick like that, and he left the stick, and the stick was floating. And it was floating up and down around.
You witnessed all this thing that you're telling me.
I seen this, and I'm just going to tell you.
You saw that, did you?
I 100% seen it. They called him more. Guys, I seen it. That's why I'm saying I believe, because I seen not only.
You saw a stick. You saw a stick floating. That's it. Witchcraft exists.
No, listen.
That's it. This
guy, when he did this stuff, right? It was to do it that she'll be able to move, and then she was able to move. They came to pick her up to bring her to the. They came to pick her up on.
There was no stick floating.
No, after the stick float around her in the basket.
Was he waving the stick or float? The stick was floating.
No, it wasn't floating.
He left the stick and he started singing a song. That was the stick. I swear, I don't
remember the song too.
Exactly. Okay. That's how bad it was.
I think. Hold on. I think you're digressing there. So let me
out of topic for a bit, yeah.
Yeah. I'm just saying. I'm just trying to.
Let me ask. Let me ask you. Like, look. Okay. So first of all, to me, there's one crime that was committed here, and that's sexual assault. Yeah. Maybe these people that were naked outside his house, that's public indecency, right? That's public indecency. 2 things. We live by this law that was written. The law is there.
Come again. I've got start all over again because I couldn't start over again because it went blank for a while.
I think it was just you, Anyway, I think it was just you. You're gonna have to keep up. But yeah. So the two women that were naked outside of this guy's house, that's public indecency, right? Those are the laws that we live by. My opposition to this is, okay, you say you've seen it. Many things have to be proved. Like, for you to go to jail, for you to be guilty of a crime, they have to prove that you committed that crime. So for somebody to be guilty of witchcraft, you have to prove that person is guilty of witchcraft. Whether they believe it or not, whatever it is, without reasonable doubt, that person has to be proven guilty before you can torture them, because that also is not the law.
It's basically just word of mouth, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but these 2 bitches admitted it.
Yeah, it is absolutely.
He's calling them bitches, bro. Relax.
All right, they admitted. Okay, so how many? Let me tell you something. How many times have women been raped and been coerced not to admit that they've been raped? How many times has that happened?
True, but that will be usually domestically. And not only domestically, but I mean, yeah.
No, not domestically. Like I can tell you about.
I'm wrong. I'm wrong in that. That's why I threw back my sentence and said no, not domestically, but yeah. But like,
yeah. So yeah. I mean, to put it short, yeah. What do you guys think? Was the guy right? Or was he wrong? That's the question.
For me, I feel like he was wrong. They could have handled it in the most civilized manner. You know what I mean? You found the ladies, yes. Tie their hands, keep them there, call the police, explain what happened. Let the court system do its job. Obviously, these ladies, first of all, they were trespassing. and they were committing something. It's sinful, as you know. Most African countries are based on what the church and everything, Christianity. We don't believe in that. So let them be judged according to what they have done. You know what I mean? Don't take matters in your own hands. There's reason why we have lawyers, court systems, and all that for situations like this. You know what I mean? And we can't take the man for his word because we haven't seen. Maybe these ladies were naked. He might have taken their clothes off himself. You know what I mean? So,
but it's not him. It's the neighbor. It's the
yes,
neighbor.
the neighbor only saw. He never saw them in the act. He only saw them naked, whatever, after they've been caught by the guy.
Mm-hmm.
Did it say the neighbor was the first person to catch them?
They never seen them naked and went to quiet and called the mob to come and burn them. But then the owner of the house, when he heard that, he came out.
So why would the judge and the executioner straight away?
The neighbor.
Why was the neighbor, instead of going to the guy's house first, and he was calling the mob first? You know what I mean? Doesn't make sense. If I see a fire burning at the neighbor's house, I'm not gonna run to another neighbor. Hey, fire! I have to knock to wake up those guys to come out before the fire burns down. You know what I mean? So he was calling other people. Why the witches were still performing those witchcraft acts? That means
probably. Do you know? Probably
mind my language. I'm speaking Chichewa now. He didn't stop them. He went straight to the neighbors and hey, there's something happening here.
Probably
he said rounding up, meaning it was not only one house.
Usually they say that
several houses.
Look, when they say usually when witches are caught, and usually when witches are caught, they say they're caught because wherever they were trying to do their flying business, that person is also mastered counterattacks for witches, which is true.
But dude, you should look at it this way. What gives you the reason? Maybe the guy was in on it as well.
Could be, yeah.
It's something that we need to think about. We need to explore all possible options. Maybe the guy was in it as well. He told them to stay in a house, pretend like I'll rape you in order for you to be free. This could all be his act to save them as well. You know what I mean? So we can look at different sides. But the matter that the article, which when I read it, it suggests the guy raped the women, which is totally wrong to me, and I don't support it. Anyway, how wrong a person is,
glorifies it as well.
Yeah, glorifies it, and it gives people a wrong image. Like everybody else who's going to read this in Africa, those that are not as smart are probably going to take advantage of this. Like, oh, when you find a witch, before you burn them, let's rape them first. You know what I mean? It's going to be something that everybody think it's the norm, but it's not. It's wrong. And the article said he was acting like an animal. That means he was acting like an animal, which is totally wrong. You know what I mean?
3 hours, he's a boo. 3 hours, he's an absolute boo.
Dude, who does that? 2 women, 3 hours. What kind of sexual frustration is that?
This guy, you should sign up for Pornhub or something, man.
Which is crazy. So when you brought it up, I read it out. I was laughing at the same time. I was sad as well, because it's a typical African thinking that a lot of people who don't know much happen to be in that type of situation. You know what I mean? And we're thankful we have grown up. We have grown up
in Europe. Yeah.
Oh, welcome. We are even about to finish the whole segment, bro.
So welcome MP. We obviously we have been going on for a minute. We're gonna let MP close the show and take it away with his thoughts and obviously everything else.
Did you read the article?
What? Yeah, I read the article. First of all, I have to read, as well. So yeah.
No, after yesterday, bro, me, I'm not wearing no yesterday until.
Just a pride of show, quick one. What I'll say is in line with what Fred was saying. I think also Ovita, but then I don't believe in witchcraft. First of all, secondly, Wantali was right to say, you know what, if you had to find someone else.
Before you go on, witches are gonna see this, right?
Well,
you just disrespected them. Okay.
Let the man wrap it up, man. Damn.
Okay, cool.
Apparently they can't fly over the ocean waters. So yeah.
So you believe in them, you know that. You believe in them if you know those stories.
Oh, I heard they don't. So yeah. Quick one. To wrap it up, it's just to say if the system is flawed, if the jurisdiction does, they can get away with murder, you know. So that guy goes raping the girls, and the women, and he goes lying to say, you know what, I put my sexual frustration on them, and you know, a certain person told me to do this, which is by law you're not allowed to do anything to someone without consent. So that is really really bad in a way. And with the fact that the police stepped in and they say, oh, you can shake hands and then move on, you know, that shows how bad the systems are, like the government is, like back home. So to wrap it up, it's just that is disgusting what he did. Like, I feel that is so disgusting, and it shows that we have a long way to develop and really support, you know, this kind of thing, to say, you know what, sexual assault is by law a crime, and you have to, you know, have to be, you know, prosecuted. You have to be prosecuted for such a thing, not whereby you walk away and say it was their fault because they provoked me, you know. So I feel that is off the charts, and that person should be locked up. And those women, the two women, should be.
They should both be locked up as well.
No. The story is, if you have a mad person walking right in front of you in the street, like they're naked and stuff like that, you don't say stuff, you know, because
two mad people. You like, tell me where have you seen two mad people hanging out together?
Well, if two people are naked, they're naked. That's it. Because then there's nudists out there. People
but in your backyard, though, that's also the thing. You know what I mean?
Was it in the backyard or front yard? We never know. Which is these stories of
in his property. People. I think if I'm correct.
Yeah. So, but then to wrap it up, you know, by law, sexual assault is sexual assault. It has
It's a crime. Yeah, it's a crime.
Simple and straightforward. So my backing is with Wantali there. I don't think witchcraft exists. Like, that is just a mythical thing altogether.
Let us know in the let us know in the comments if you're team Obi Too Nice or team the rest of us, which is common sense. Or you never know.
And tell us if you believe.
We'll catch you on the next one.
At least even tell us if you believe in witchcraft or if you don't.
Layers.
Straight up G.